Tell me, you as a psychologist, what is wrong with our people that do stuff like that?
Well, to be honest with you, Baba, as the self-hate relates to me and the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy campaign, honestly, I'm kind of numb to it. And I'm kind of numb to it because I've been dealing with it since we first started the fundraiser back in April of 2014. If you can remember, what started this entire process was an attempt to purchase HBCU St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia, when it was put up for auction back in April of 2014. And so when I heard about that, I initially went to work to try to raise the funds to secure the HBCU St. Paul's campus. And from the very beginning, struggle streamers from YouTube, other haters, disgruntled former associates, black bourgeoisies, rainbow gangers, everybody, they contacted the auction company and they tried to prevent them from accepting our bid. We wasn't able to raise enough money anyway, so it ultimately didn't matter one way or the other, but I'm just bringing it up to let you know that the hate is as old as the project. It's not a new thing. I think in some respects it's gotten worse because the closer we get to the finish line, the more intense the opposition becomes, but I always like to keep it in perspective by saying that for every enemy of the program, there's a million supporters. The difference between the haters and the congratulators are that the congratulators are mature people with emotional intelligence and self-control. The haters are immature people without emotional intelligence and without self-control. The congratulators, the supporters, and the donors, they have a life. They have things to do. So they're not consumed with the day-to-day happenings of FDMG because they trust in our team and they trust in me. As opposed to the detractors, they don't have anything to do except make YouTube videos. They have no life. They have no goals. They have no agenda for themselves, no purpose. So they can spend all day, every day, talking about FDMG, slandering. I've heard more lies from people this month than I've heard in 11 years. Like the clips that people send me, because I don't watch the stuff. I can't watch it because it'll force me to respond. If I watch a hater's video, Baba, I'll be forced to respond. It's hard to sit there and just hear lie after lie after lie and not say anything. So I don't listen. But people do send me clips that they think are very important for me to take note of. But just getting back to my point, I'm so used to it that that's not the issue for me. The issue for me, Baba, today, as we sit here on the final day of Black August 2025, which August the 31st was declared by the Right Excellent Most Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and the UNIA in Harlem, New York City, August of 1920, August the 31st, the final day of Black August was declared an international holiday for all African people throughout the entire world. And so this is a day that we celebrate being African. This is a day we celebrate being proud to be African, as this day was set aside by the Garveyites of August of 1920 as an international holiday. Now, with that being said, I want to briefly, Baba, give you a summary of the war. I'm going to call it a war because I believe the city government of Wilmington and the Negro bureaucracy has declared war on the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. I absolutely believe that. Let me give you a quick timeline. In October of 2024, I emailed the Secretary for Vacant Properties for the city of Wilmington, Delaware. I was requesting a waiver because in the city of Wilmington, if you are a 501 nonprofit organization, you can get a one-time 4-year waiver, so you don't have to pay the vacant property registration fee, which is $5,000 per year. So I requested a waiver on October the 14th of 2024. The Secretary for Vacant Properties responded, and she said, if you get a bill on November the 1st, which is 2 weeks later, October 14th, she says on November the 1st, if you get a bill, you can apply for the waiver, and you need to include the bill number, the bill amount, and any evidence that you are working on this building. Well, Baba, on October 14th, I already asked for the waiver. I already asked for it. So there's no need for me to submit a new one on November the 1st because you have it right here, right now. But because she didn't want to process my waiver, she didn't want to put it through, so she says, you have to do it again, basically, and add the bill number and the amount and any evidence that you're working on the school. Now, to the evidence, Baba, the electricity, the plumbing, and the HVAC has already been repaired, inspected, and approved by L&I for more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
So when she's asking for proof of renovation, the renovations are done, the major ones. We're just dealing with the superficials right now, and the only thing left is the floor. We got to retile the floor, Baba. That's it. So if I already sent you an application for a waiver, why did you not process it? Why did you tell me I got to resubmit it again on November the 1st with the bill number and the amount? You already know the bill number because the bill comes from you.
Mm-hmm.
You already know the amount. The amount comes from you. So basically, Baba, she didn't want to process our waiver. And because she didn't want to process our waiver, she said it had to be resubmitted once I get a bill in the mail with the bill number and the bill amount, as opposed to just processing the waiver and adding the bill number and the bill amount to it. Keep in mind, Baba, all city offices are in the same building.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. So if she needed to get something from finance, she could go downstairs or just pick up the phone. So this is what you call being difficult. So anyway, let's continue. That's October. On March the 7th, I get a letter saying that we may sell your property. We may go to Superior Court to get a judgment against you and put a sheriff lien and possible sheriff sale against your property if you don't satisfy this amount that you owe us. The amount at the time, Baba, was about $70,000.
Wow.
Let me tell you what it was for. $30,000 was for water. Baba, we don't use no water because nobody is in the school. I want the listeners to understand me. The city of Wilmington is trying to defunct our school through nonsense fees. I'm going to say it again. The city government of Wilmington, Delaware, and the Negro bureaucracy, and I'm saying the Negro bureaucracy because most of the people who are sabotaging us look just like us.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to be very clear about this. Even though the mayor is Caucasian, he don't really have nothing to do with this. This is all Negro. Now, the L&I commissioner, I believe he's a Latino gentleman. He's the only person involved in this who's not black. Everybody else sabotaging us is black. So let's look at this, Baba. $30,000 in water. We get our water bill every month for both schools, because remember, we got two.
Mm-hmm.
Our water bill combined every month is about $3,000. Baba, we don't use no water.
Mm-mm.
We don't use no water. But I'm being told you still have to pay this because of sewage and rain. In other words, when it rains and the water runs off of our building into the drain, we got to pay for that.
Mm.
So $30,000. So they say you got to satisfy this bill, Baba. This is a letter dated March the 7th. You got to satisfy this bill, or we're going to get a judgment against you in Superior Court, and we're going to do a sheriff lien and sale. Right? March 7th. So guess what I do, Baba? We pay off the $30,000 in water that we should not owe because we don't use any water. We pay it off. The whole thing. Boom! That's out. So what are we left with, Baba? We're left with vacant property registration fees, which are $5,000 a year, and we owe them for 3 years. So that's $15,000 for the Frederick Douglass High School. That's $15,000 for the Marcus Garvey Elementary School. So that's $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever was left after that, Baba, that's just little hit and miss fees. That ain't nothing. So basically you were dealing with water and vacant property, neither of which we should owe. Why? Because we don't use no water. And as far as vacant property goes, Baba, they should have retroactively applied our 4-year vacant property registration fee. And if they would have retroactively applied it, Baba, we would have owed zero. So we just paid the city of Wilmington, Delaware, $70,000 in nonsense fees. Now, it gets worse, Baba. Guess what they decided in 2023? The City Council of Wilmington in 2023 decided to raise the vacant property registration fee. If your building has been vacant for 5 years, they decided in 2023 to raise the vacant property registration fee from $5,000 to $12,000.
Wow.
So what that means, Baba, if we don't get a waiver, and I'm telling y'all right now, if we don't get a waiver, we're going to have to march. This is going to have to be a protest. Because what they're doing to us is unfair and it's unjust. And we'll get to that in a minute. But if we don't get the vacant property registration fee waiver for 2025, and that bill comes out November the 1st, that's $12,000 for the Garvey building. That's $12,000 for the Douglas building. Baba, that's $24,000 more dollars.
Wow.
On top of the 70. Do you know what that means? In 1 year, we would have paid the city of Wilmington government almost $100,000 on nonsense fees, Bob. Nonsense. And I'm calling them nonsense because we shouldn't have to pay them at all as a nonprofit building a school to improve a neighborhood that is impoverished. This is crazy. $30,000 in water. We don't use no water. $30,000 on back vacant property registration. We should have had our waiver. And now y'all jumped the price up from $5,000 a year to $12,000 a year going forward, which means we will owe $25,000 at the end of this year for vacant property. That's 70 and 25. That's $95,000 we just threw away on nonsense fees.
Was the water being metered?
The water is metered, and when you look at the meter, Baba, because we're not in there, it shows no usage. It shows no usage. But again, I was told when it rains, the water runs off your building into the drain. You have to pay for storm water and sewage.
Wow.
So we don't have no sewage.
But how do they measure that?
I think it's a set amount. I don't know how they do it. It is a mystery. I still don't understand.
Yeah.
It is a mystery. How can you owe that much money for water and y'all don't even use any water?
Wow.
Complete mystery. And then the vacant property registration fee, why y'all raise that up? Why y'all raise that up from $5,000 to $12,000? I'll tell you why they raised it up. Because they're trying to gentrify the city. They're trying to take as many properties from black people as they possibly can and give them to Caucasians. That's why. And I want the brothers and sisters in Wilmington, Delaware, if there's any movement in that city to fight against gentrification, to stop black people from getting their property stolen, count me in. Count me in. I can't get involved as the head of FDMG, but I can definitely get involved as an activist because what they did to us is wrong. So let me give you the rest of this, Baba, and I'm going to be quick on this.
Take your time.
So we get the letter March the 7th. I automatically contact the secretary for delinquent accounts. I contact the secretary for delinquent accounts. I say, yo, I got this letter. Are y'all about to sheriff sell our school? I said, listen, I'm going to try to get the vacant property registration fee waiver retroactively applied. She said, we haven't moved on this yet. You still got some time. Do what you can. So I call up to the Secretary of Vacant Property, which is an L&I. Vacant property is within L&I. I ask her, I say, is there any way y'all can make an exception for us and retroactively apply this vacant property registration fee because we just paid $30,000 in water. This is going to be another $30,000 in vacant property registration fee. Our money comes from the people. We don't accept government funding. We do not accept funding from outside the community, and this is draining us of money we need for repairs, operations, so forth and so on. She said, send me what you can. Send me some pictures of the school showing that the work has been done. She said, I'm going to see if we can do anything about this. This is what she tells me on the phone, Baba. She doesn't call me back, so I'll call her back. In fact, I was harassing her. I probably called her at least 6 times. I emailed her April the 1st. She did not respond. I emailed her April the 4th. She did not respond. I emailed her April the 7th. She did not respond. I emailed her April the 16th. She did not respond. And after every email, I called her to get an update on the status of the possibility of them retroactively applying our vacant property registration fee 4-year waiver for nonprofits. Are you with me so far, Bob?
I'm following it.
Okay. On the phone, Baba, she's telling me she's going to get me an answer. But she's never calling me back, and she doesn't respond to a single email. I want to say something right now, Baba, that is key to this whole story. And I need your listeners to understand this. Because the deputy chief of staff for the city of Wilmington responded to a random YouTuber who doesn't even live in Delaware.
A YouTuber.
The deputy chief of staff responded to an inquiry from a random YouTube hater of mine who doesn't even live in the state of Delaware.
But would respond to you.
Yes, he responded to the YouTuber, not to me. And he told her he lied on me. He lied on me. He told the YouTuber that what I had said with regard to how the city was handling us was not true. He also told the YouTuber that between April and August, that the Department of Finance had followed up with me, Baba, on multiple attempts.
Wow.
Multiple attempts from the Finance Department to collect the debt. Baba, listen to me. We received no correspondence from anybody or any department in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. We heard from nobody from that March the 7th letter until the sheriff put that monition on our door August the 8th. That is 5 months, Baba. March the 7th to August the 8th. That is 5 months exactly.
If they had responded, they would have had a paper trail.
Nobody. Say that again.
If they had responded, they would have had a paper trail.
Thank you. Show me where y'all responded. Baba, they basically ignored us for 5 months. Completely ignored us. We got no follow-up letter or email. We got no follow-up bill or email. We got no follow-up threat or email. We got no 90-day notice, no 60-day notice, no 30-day notice. Nobody said we're going to Superior Court or Sheriff on August the 5th. Nobody, Baba. We heard nothing from the city of Wilmington for 5 straight months, but the deputy chief of staff goes and emails a YouTuber and lies on us, talking about there was multiple follow-up attempts from the finance department regarding the fee. That's a damn lie. There were no follow-up attempts because we heard from nobody. The only thing we got in the mail, Baba, from March the 7th until August the 8th, when the sheriff put that sign on our door, were the water bills.
Wow.
All we got was the automatically generated water bills. Nothing else about a sheriff's sale, nothing else about a lien. Now check this out, Bob. One of the reasons I took issue with the deputy chief of staff's email to this random YouTuber is not only did he lie and claim that there were multiple follow-ups with us when we heard from nobody about anything from March the 7th until August the 8th when the sheriff put that sign on our door, but this is also a pattern with the city of Wilmington with regard to the FDMG Academy, Baba. They give out our information to anybody who calls.
Wow.
There's no privacy. There's no confidentiality. There's no discretion. Anybody who calls that city with questions about the school, they will tell them all of our business. This is how most of the haters have gotten the school's information, because they voluntarily share information with people who don't even live in the city of Wilmington. They don't even live in the state of Delaware, and they just share our information.
Is it public information, though?
Say that again.
Is it public information?
Some of it is public, but not all of it is public. You see. And in this case, Baba, he told a blatant lie. He told a blatant lie. He said from April to August, I'm quoting him from the YouTube video that somebody sent me, because I didn't even know that he was communicating with a YouTube hater. He said, quote, from April through August, multiple follow-up attempts from the finance department regarding the outstanding fees. Baba, we heard from nobody at all about anything from the city of Wilmington from March the 7th until August the 8th. 5 whole months.
Well, would that be defamation? And a lot of people, not a lot, but some people have asked me, what about your legal counsel and advice? What have they been saying?
I'm working on that. And the reason I'm working on that, Baba, is I don't think this is going to stop until we push back. I think they're going to continue to play games with us. I think they're going to continue to be hostile towards us. They're going to continue to be negligent towards us, and they're going to continue to discriminate against us. So let me fast forward. So March the 7th, I get the letter. Excuse me, the letter was mailed March the 7th. I probably got it the last week of March, first week of April. I immediately called the Secretary of Delinquent Accounts. She said, see what L&I has to say. It comes from them, not us. We just carry it out. I talked to the Secretary of Vacant Property. She tells me she's going to give me a call back. She's going to look into this and see what they can do. Now, what they're saying, Baba, is they don't retroactively apply vacant property registration fee waivers, right? I can understand that. But I asked for a one-time exemption. If you can't give it to me, just say that so we can move on.
Right.
I want to make this point very clear, Baba, because what they're leaving out, because they're saying, well, we don't apply it retroactively. The man asked you if you could do it this one time because they just paid $30,000 in water. And instead of just telling us, no, we're not going to do it. You either have to pay it or get a payment plan. But we're not going to. Baba, she completely ignored me. Like I told you, I emailed her April 1st. She did not respond to my email. I emailed her April 4th. She did not respond to my email. I emailed her April 7th. She did not respond to my email. I emailed her April 16th. She did not respond to my email. I spoke to her on the phone at least a half dozen times, and each time she said she would get back to me with an answer. And guess what, Baba? That turned into 5 months. No response.
Wow.
5 months, no response. And then the Secretary of Delinquent Accounts, because what I did was I sent the email to the Chief of Staff of the Mayor, not the Deputy Chief of Staff. The man who sent this email to the YouTubers, Baba, he ain't got nothing to do with nothing because I didn't include him in the correspondence. So you speaking about things you know nothing about, and you are being untruthful and dishonest and blatantly lying in what you are saying. So he wasn't even in the email trail. It was the Deputy Chief of Staff. It was the Commissioner for L&I. It was the Secretary for Delinquent Accounts and the Secretary for Vacant Properties. So I emailed them and I asked 3 questions, Baba. And guess what? Nobody has answered the questions yet.
Wow.
They answered everything but my question. These are the 3 questions. Why didn't the Secretary of Vacant Properties respond to my constant emails and constant phone calls seeking clarity, Baba?
They never
seeking
answered.
clarity. And I got none. I asked why. Were we not due a response? How are we supposed to do things the right way if you can't even pick up a phone and return a voicemail? You can't even return an email. I asked, why did we get no response for 5 months? I got no answer. And then I asked, why didn't we get any follow-up mail, Baba, from March to August about the sheriff link? Because here's what I was thinking, Baba. My thought was this. They're not responding to my emails. They're not responding to my phone calls. So because we paid $30,000 in water, half the debt was paid, I assume they're going to leave us alone. Does that make sense to you, Bob?
I would have thought, but you know, if they are in a state of war, they want you to fail.
I want you to follow my logic on it.
Okay.
In other words, the person responsible for handling this for us refused to call us back and refused to respond to an email for 5 months.
Yeah, they have begun their cover-up.
You're clear on that, because they're not addressing that at all. The L&I commissioner completely ignored the question. The chief of staff for the mayor completely ignored the question. The secretary for vacant property, who's the one responsible for ignoring me, she ignored the question. And the secretary for delinquent accounts, it was not her responsibility, because all she does is carry out, you know, whatever is owed, she got to carry it out and collect that debt. Where I took issue with her at, respectively, is because in her email, she says she told me that they had initiated sheriff sale process on the phone. No, she did not. That was not true. That was not true. She told, and I have the email to prove it.
Because in the email she sent me, the email is there. She says, I'm waiting to hear back from L&I, just like you are, to see what we're going to do, because I was going back and forth between the two secretaries, Baba, telling the Secretary of Delinquent Accounts that the Secretary of Vacant Property said she's going to look into this and get back to me. So she says, okay, you know what I mean? Let's just see what she says. I said, should I pay anything? I got the emails, Baba. Should I pay anything right now? She says, hold off until we get an answer from them. Baba, we never got an answer from them.
Well, and to this day, it's still no one is answering.
Oh, well, I put them in the email chain. So we've been going back and forth on the email, respectfully back and forth, but nobody's answering my question. Question 1, why did I never get a response to my emails and phone calls? Question 2, why was there no follow-up correspondence about the sheriff lien and sale? Baba, all they had to do was call me and say, listen, Doc, we know you paid $30,000 in water, but if we don't get that other $30,000 in vacant property, we're going to have to sell. Or send an email. Baba, David, they said nothing at all for 4 months. So now, I'm home chilling, and I start getting text messages from my supporters. Dr.UMAR, the struggle streamers are on YouTube, and they have a letter claiming your school is going to be sold in 20 days if you don't pay off the full balance. So, Baba, I'm automatically thinking that this is a lie, because, you know, the YouTubers, they make up stuff all the time. They don't believe in the truth. They do not believe in the truth. They believe in views and clicks, and they will make up anything to satisfy their audience so they can get their views and clicks. So I'm thinking it's a lie, Baba. I'm like, we ain't got nothing in the mail. I just checked the mail yesterday. Baba, I was just down there. I was just down there and checked the mail. So because this could be true, I call a Garveyite sister in Wilmington, Delaware, who lives near the school. And I said, and I also text my brother Kev, and I text one of my neighbors. I text 3 people asking them to go past the school and see if there's another set of paper on the front door, because the haters, Baba, stole the set of sheriff's cell paperwork off the Frederick Douglass High School doors. They stole it and sent it to YouTube. You feel me? So that means there's another set on the Garvey building. So I hurry up and ask 3 people, can you please go past the school and see if there's another set of paperwork? I need to know if they lying or if this is true. So the good sister, bless her heart, she went and got the paper. She said, Doc, I got it. She took pictures of each page. She sent it to me, and I saw it for myself, Baba. It was real. If you don't pay off this money, we selling your school in 20 days. Baba, let me ask you a question. How did we go from April the 1st, can I get a one-time waiver exemption applied retroactively? Because if they do that, Baba, we owe nothing. She says she's going to get back to me. I don't hear from nobody from April the 1st until August the 7th. No mail comes from the March 7th letter until August the 8th. So if you're counting from the last time we received correspondence, Baba, that's March the 7th, 5 months. If you're counting from the last time I spoke to somebody on the phone, that's the first week of April, 4 months. No matter how you cut the cake. We did not hear from the city at all from 4 months to 5 months. Now, why didn't we hear from the city? Shouldn't we have gotten a warning? Shouldn't something have been sent between March the 7th and August the 8th? I don't know, Baba. What do you think?
I should have gotten some advance notice.
5 months, Baba. 5 months?
And yeah, most notices are at least 30 to 60-day notice, sometimes 90-day notice.
For 5, Baba, the one and only letter we got dealing with this situation was dated March the 7th. We never got another piece of mail or email dealing with this situation since March the 7th.
And it's interesting, the deputy responded to the YouTuber. To a YouTuber who don't even live in the state of Delaware. But certainly, wasn't the media involved in it? Weren't they saying, did they respond to any media requests?
I have no idea. But I don't appreciate him lying on me, because what he said to the YouTuber was completely false.
Yeah.
Completely false. It was a blatant lie. He wasn't even in the email chain, so why are you even speaking on it? You don't even know. Why are you even speaking on it? So anyhow, when I get that, that's when I emailed the chief of staff Commissioner for L&I, Secretary for Vacant Property, Secretary for Delinquent Accounts, saying, hey, what's going on? Y'all didn't say nothing to us for 5 months. Remember, Baba, they're not communicating with us, so we don't know what's going on. She won't call me. She won't respond to an email. You see this? And now check this part out, Baba. This is going to be real interesting. When I first emailed her October 14th, remember, we don't get the letter till March the 7th. When I emailed her October 14th about the waiver, I automatically submit the waiver. The waiver letter. It's not a form. It's the letter. I sent it. And she says, well, you got to wait till you get the bill and make sure the bill number is on it and make sure it's in a Word document. And we just talked about that earlier. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? If it's a Word document or in the email, either way you got to print it out. Either way it's in text. What is the problem? Because you don't want to process my waiver. And maybe that's why she never called me back. Maybe that's why she never responded to none of my emails, and nobody has addressed that yet. I ain't heard a word yet on why we were ignored for 5 months. I ain't heard a word yet on why we didn't get any communication from any department at all about this intent to sheriff lien and sell out schools. Check this out. If we don't get that notice on the front of that door that night, our schools would have been sold, and we'd have not even known until they were gone.
Wow.
Think about that, Bob. Not a phone call, not an email, not a letter in the mail. They went behind our backs, knowing we were waiting for some feedback from L&I Vacant Property Secretary. They went behind our backs, no information at all from anybody for 5 months, and they go to the sheriff. They go to the court, get their judgment, and go straight to the sheriff. Who decided to go to court on August the 5th?
Yeah, I thought that they had to
legally.
Have a right to
know that?
I thought they legally had to.
What was it about August the 5th, Bob? Who decided to go to court on August the 5th? And why did y'all choose August the 5th?
Run up the chain. Run up the chain and see who authorized what.
They won't give me no answers. They won't. And I'm going to tell you why. I think one of the reasons, shout out to the brothers and sisters in Wilmington, Delaware, because you know I get a lot of love down there. I've been getting hundreds of calls from the brothers and sisters who live in the Wilmington area because they're looking forward to the school for their boys, and they don't like this at all. And some of them are telling me that the city has done this to other black property owners.
Wow.
They say, you're not the first, Dr.UMAR. Other black people in the city of Wilmington has lost their properties under very suspicious circumstances, similar to what they're doing to you.
Would there be...
Let me get his last piece. So, and this is what, you know, and I'm not going to put this on the city of Wilmington. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this, although I do think it's highly suspect. Before you went to break, I raised the question, who decided to seek a judgment against us at Superior Court, followed by the sheriff lien and sale on August the 5th? What city official made that decision? And why were we not notified before, during, or after, right?
Right.
The reason I asked that question, Bobby David, not only did they ignore us completely for 4 to 5 months, right? 4 months since the phone call, 5 months since the last correspondence by mail, but the reason it's so suspicious, the August the 5th judgment and sheriff lien date is so suspicious, Baba, because our bank accounts were frozen.
Wow. Yeah.
So you mean to tell me it's been 5 months since your last correspondence to us, and it just so happens that the date you choose to go and get a judgment against us to sell our schools coincides with the exact time that our school account is frozen and we can't touch it.
Well, you know, you've often told us about a shadow government, both nationally and locally, with city government, state government. There's always a shadow government that runs things and have their fingers on things.
That's too much of a coincidence.
Right.
I'm not going to put it on them because I can't prove it, but that is too much of a coincidence for me to overlook it. He can't access the school money to pay us right now. And it just so happens at the very time this happens, we're going to try to sell a school building. I think it was coordinated, but I'm not going to put that piece on them because I can't prove it. But make a long story short, Baba, we was able to get the money, and we was able to pay it off completely. Okay? But when you go to the city's website, it says that we took out a payment plan. We didn't take out no payment plan. We paid the whole amount. Now, don't get me wrong, Baba. For me, it's not a big deal. But because y'all like giving our business out to the public, make sure the information is accurate. Why does it say we entered into a payment plan?
Misinformation.
Into a payment plan. We paid off the whole judgment.
Wow. So whose name was on the notice when for the final notice? Who signed it? Who authorized it?
The notice that was on the school building?
Yeah.
I think it was the sheriff's name. But remember, the sheriff just do what they supposed to do. You see what I'm saying?
Right. They get orders.
The sheriff just do what they supposed to do. Even with the Secretary of Finance, I don't hold her to accountable, Baba, because she just does what she's supposed to do. I just took issue with the inaccuracies in her email where she said that she told me they had started the process, and she did not say that. She said it had not started yet, and I got the email to prove it. She also said that her boss told me we couldn't do a payment plan because the schools have been vacant too long. That is not true because she gave me a payment plan. She sent me a payment plan. I just didn't move on it, Baba. Why? Because we just paid off $30,000 in water, and I'm going to try to get the vacant property fee registration waiver applied retroactively, and then we could talk about doing the payment plan. You feel me, Baba? I wanted to get that rectified first to reduce the balance.
So have they unfrozen your accounts?
Finance, I don't really hold her to responsible except for those two untrue statements in her follow-up email. Go ahead, Bob.
I said, have they unfrozen your accounts?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So now, we have a new account. So for brothers and sisters who want to donate, go ahead and make your check or money order payable to FDMG Academy, same address, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. And as I said, Baba, they raised the vacant property registration fee up to $12,000 for this year. So if we don't get the waiver, that's $25,000. Nonsense fees, Baba. Nonsense fees. We would have given the city of Wilmington, Delaware, who ain't done nothing for us at all, we would have given them $100,000 this year alone on nonsense. Water we don't use, $30,000. And then the vacant property registration fee, the pass was $30,000. And then, now that it's going to be $12,000 a building, that's another $25,000. That's $55,000 on vacant property registration fees, Bob.
Wow.
So as you can see, they're clearly trying to sabotage us by wasting our money. That's what the strategy is.
So did they say why?
I would love to know why they decided to raise the vacant property registration fee, Baba, from $5,000 to $12,000. That's a $7,000 increase, Baba.
But it wasn't just for you.
$7,000 increase.
Yeah, but it wasn't just for you. It was for all vacant properties.
It was for vacant properties that's been vacant for at least 5 years.
Right. So.
But you don't raise them prices, Baba, without a reason. And why did you raise them by so much?
Gentrification. They want those investors to come in and take all the vacant properties.
So where we at now, Baba? Because I'm not letting this go.
I don't blame you.
They tried to steal our buildings without even telling us. I'm not letting this go. So because I didn't get no direct answers from the chief of staff, but I will have to get back in touch with the chief of staff because I need to know why his deputy chief of staff is giving out misinformation to the public.
Yeah, that ain't right.
I want to know why his deputy chief of staff is blatantly lying on us. Blatantly lying.
Yeah.
Okay? But then I also I contacted the city attorneys, and guess what they told me? They said, we did not handle the paperwork for your lien in judgment.
Wow.
So if y'all didn't handle it, who did?
Yeah.
So they said I got to get in contact with another office. So Baba, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Let me tell you what the vision. Here's the vision. I think we're going to have to sue the city. I do not think they're going to stop with the discrimination. I don't think they're going to stop with the negligence. I don't think they're going to stop with the hostility. I think we're going to have to sue them. And I think we're going to have to protest them, too. I think we're going to have to march on them. I don't see them stopping this because you're dealing with Negroes. You're dealing with Negroes who don't want me there. Now, I'm not talking about the people now. When I talk about the city, I'm talking about government. I'm not talking about the brothers and sisters in the community. They love us. We got nothing but love. Of course, there's a couple of haters in every city.
Yeah.
Yes, I got some haters there, obviously. But the general community, they support and love us. They donate to us. When I talk about the city, I'm not talking about the people.
Right,
I'm talking about the government and the Negroes in the bureaucracy who are intentionally trying to sabotage us so we never open up because they don't want me there for their own personal reason. Maybe it's because I'm from Philadelphia. You know how that small town thing goes. Some of them feel like we don't need them here. Let's sabotage. Others because they don't like what I stand for, what I believe in, whatever. Or maybe they just black bourgeoisies with an uppity Negro whitewash attitude. I don't know what it is, Baba.
Negro
we have got nothing but hostility from the city government since we bought the school. Let me go back. Let me go back.
Okay.
Remember the festivals? We did 2 festivals.
Yes, I got my festival shirt on.
The first festival, Baba, do you know it almost didn't happen? Because the secretary for special events, just like the secretary for vacant properties, was not returning phone calls.
Wow.
Same thing. We had to get an attorney.
Wow.
Our attorney in 2021 had to call the city attorney for Wilmington, Delaware, and ask him, why isn't this woman giving us our special event permit? Our festival is in 2 days.
Wow.
Where is our permit? We filled out the paperwork.
Yeah.
She's dragging us. And it was the city attorney, Baba, who forced the secretary for special events to process our payment. Process our paperwork. Guess when we got the letter? Guess when we got our permit for the festival, Baba?
The same day, that morning.
The day before.
Yeah.
If we didn't get that paperwork Friday, we would have had to cancel the entire festival because that woman wanted to sabotage us. So wait a minute, Baba. Let's go to the next year. Festival 2022. It happens again. Remember, she told me that somebody else has already taken out a permit to have a festival in front of your school on your day. Remember that, Baba?
Wow.
Yes.
Who was that? Did they say who it was?
Already requested a festival in front of your school. She said at this address on this day.
Wow.
And I asked her, who in the hell is going to ask to have a festival in front of FDMG? Baba, we don't have no neighbors. We're the only people on the block.
I've been there. That's right.
We're the only people on the block. So who is asking to have a festival in front of our school on the same day as us?
It had not even been advertised.
She never answered the question.
Wow.
She never answered the question. Wow. So guess what, Baba? The city attorney, our attorney, once again, had to call the city attorney and make her give us a permit.
Wow.
I'm giving you these stories, Baba, because I want you to see that the city has been hostile, city government, not the people. I love Wilmington, Delaware, not the people.
Yeah.
I'm going to be moving to Wilmington, Delaware when the school's ready. Not the people. I'm talking about the government and the Negro bureaucracy. Not everybody in the government and not everybody in the Negro bureaucracy. But certain key people are definitely undermining us and sabotaging us.
Not red tape, but brown tape.
Let me give you one more, Baba. And then we can go to the phones if you want.
Yeah, because we do have some callers.
Yes, sir. This is my last comment. And for my brothers and sisters of Wilmington, Delaware, if there's anything you want to share with me, if there's any meetings about gentrification, if there's any way I can help black people save their properties in Wilmington, Delaware, please let me know. Because what they did to me, Baba, what they did to us, I think they're doing the same thing to black people all over that city. They're putting you in default. They're not communicating with you. And then at the last minute, they go and get a judgment on you and try to sell your building without you even knowing. I don't think we're the first. I don't think we're the first person. I think this is one of the scams. Allegedly, this is one of the
real estate scams
that the city is involved in against black people who own property in Delaware, who they want to get rid of.
Wow.
The whitewash of black Wilmington is in full effect.
Yes,
the
indeed.
whitewashing of black Wilmington, Delaware is in full effect, and it's Negroes helping them do it.
That's amazing.
It's Negroes helping them do it. But this is the last point I wanted to give you. Remember COVID. I'm going back to 2020 now, Bob. In COVID, remember who was president at COVID? Biden. It was Trump, and then Biden took over. I think we were still in COVID.
Right.
No.
Biden, then Trump took over.
It was Trump, Biden, Trump. So in 2020, who was president? It was Trump.
Yeah, he won the election in 20.
Who won the election in 20?
Trump did.
Trump won the election in 20. He took his oath in January of 21. Is that how it went?
Let me see. No, Biden was elected in 20, and then Trump won again in 24.
Okay. Biden was elected in 20.
Yes.
Who gave us the quarantine? Why does it feel like Joe Biden gave us the quarantine?
Because the COVID started in 19. The COVID started in 19. And
Okay,
Trump was the president in his first term when it happened. And he told everybody to drink bleach.
Biden took over in 20. Do that sound right?
Yes.
It was Trump, Baba.
I know.
Trump was 17 to 21.
That's right.
COVID quarantine began around March of 20.
It
didn't matter who was president. I was just trying to remember who. It's irrelevant for the point I was going to make, though. The point I was going to make was this. Remember, nobody was allowed to go outside?
That's right.
Okay. When we were on quarantine, so mind you, this is the first year we own the school, by the way. This is the first year we own the school. When we were on COVID quarantine and nobody was allowed to go outside, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, through license and inspection, gave us a citation for high grass. Can I ask you a question, Bob?
Who's supposed to mow the lawn?
If nobody is allowed to go outside because we're on COVID quarantine, why are you giving us a citation for high grass?
They said the essential workers working, going out giving out citations.
Say that again.
They had the essential workers going out giving out citations.
Okay, that's okay to have your. First of all, I didn't know citations was an essential worker.
I didn't either. Hey,
I thought essential workers were those who were absolutely necessary for safety and health.
No, but citations are part of the income for every city. That's why they have tickets.
But I don't think a ticket. I don't think giving tickets is an essential duty.
I don't think so either. But you know, hey.
Exactly. But here's my point. Even if it is, Baba, even if they say giving out tickets during COVID is an essential function of the city, I was not allowed to come outside because the president said nobody comes outside.
That's right. That's right.
So how in the hell are we getting a ticket for high grass, uncut grass, when I'm not allowed to go outside to cut it?
Well, you know, they look for every kind of way. Every kind of way they can get it out. But we got to call them and wait a while. And we want to invite any of our other listeners, if you want to call in, 215.
I'll close with this statement, Baba, before you go to the call.
Okay.
I'm just showing a pattern. I'll give you one more and I'll stop. People dump on our property all the time. They throw trash all the time.
Sure, dumping.
I contacted the city and said, because the city has trash cans that they give to their residents, right?
Right.
I said, could we have a few of those? Because your citizens, the residents are constantly dumping on our food. And we got to clean it up and pay for it. Can y'all give us a few trash cans that y'all empty up when y'all come down and empty up the other streets? You know what they told me? Absolutely not. That's your responsibility. So I just want to show a pattern of hostile behavior, negligent behavior, and discrimination, and I think it's going to ultimately land us in court. But before we go to that level, I want to exhaust every possible avenue on the municipal level to show that I tried to solve this problem within the city government of Wilmington, Delaware, before we take them to court. I got a few more people to email and ask for their intervention and opinion and investigation. And if I get nowhere with them, and I don't think I will, if I don't get anywhere with them, then the next level is we're going to have to take them to court for discrimination. We have enough evidence to prove it. Go ahead, Bob.
I was saying it should be a lot of attorneys that would want to take this, your situation on pro bono.
Nah, Delaware is a small state, and you got to find somebody licensed in Delaware who's going to be willing to litigate on our behalf.
Wow.
And I can't seem to find a black attorney who has the guts to do it.
Wow.
So, you know, we probably have to find somebody of another race, which is fine with me, as long as they can do the job. But you got to remember, a lot of people in this day and time where Donald Trump is president and he's pushing his white supremacy rhetoric, a lot of people, you know, fighting for black justice is not popular in the Donald Trump administration.
Isn't that so?
And because fighting for black justice is not popular in the Donald Trump administration, there's not going to be a lot of attorneys stepping up to help us out.
I ain't touching that. All right, let's go to the phone line and talk to William. Good afternoon, William. How you doing today? Thanks for holding on.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Dr.UMAR, great man. Thank you for what you're doing for brothers and sisters of the day. But Dr.UMAR, I got so much respect for you, and I've been following you the last couple of years. And I know that you're a truthful man, and you expose people to the truth. And in doing that, you're exposing the system of how the people do things, how like white people do things, I'm going to say, or the people in power. Because to me, all white people ain't the devil and all white people ain't bad. But Dr. Umar, I'm just surprised that you're surprised about what they're doing now. And I'm listening to you, and I'm just surprised, and I know that they're probably listening because they like, well, what did you think? You've been exposing our game for years, and now you want to sit down and play our game. What did you think was going to happen? You know, with you trying to put your name on something, you know,
I'm not surprised
and everything. Like
I'm not
you are
surprised.
positive. And this is what I wanted to say. And I heard you say about at the end of your statement about now what you got to do is you got to go get somebody, a lawyer, probably a white lawyer or somebody, to put their name up above yours for this adventure that you're on. I would have suggested that had been done first because you done called the man out so many times, which is the truth, on their games and how black people in our country has been doing the wrong things. And now, you know, you want to sit down at that table. But I think that you could get more when you put your name on something. You got to expect that that's the way they're going to rock and roll with you. You know, and as far as Delaware goes,
right, Baba, and I'm not surprised.
I think going into Delaware,
can you hear me, Baba? David? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, I wanted to say, Baba, that I agree with you. I completely agree with your assessment. I'm not surprised. Let me tell you what surprises me, and I really can't be surprised at that either. So let me just say what bothers me, because I'm not surprised. You're right. Everything you just said, I co-sign. What bothers me is you had black people in the city government of Wilmington who knew that they were going to sell out schools without me knowing and didn't bother to send me a text message. They could have got somebody on the street and said, yo, they could have called a cousin, nephew, brother. Say, listen, I need you to get in touch with DrUMAR and let him know that they about to try to sell his school. Nobody sent me no heads up. And that's what bothers me. I'm not surprised because I know how Negroes do in city government. But it still bothers you because I'm like, I'm doing this for our children. We don't get no money from the state of Delaware. We don't get no money from the U.S. government. We don't get no money from the city of Wilmington, Delaware. This is the people's money that bought them schools. The people's money that renovated them schools. The people's money that's going to operate them schools. And you ain't got enough respect for what we try to do for our children, that you're not even going to make sure I get noticed, that y'all about to try to sell these schools behind my back. And that's what bothers me, that black people would see that about to go down and nobody would say a damn word about it.
Well, again, like I said in my post and as I said on the show, you know, just the brainwashing, simple, plain and simple. Some people just don't want to get involved. People kept telling me, why are you still supporting that man? I said, because he's doing some great things in our community. That's why I support him. Whether he do the school or just child psychology, he's still doing wonderful things. And that's why I support him, and I will continue to support him. Regardless, you know, Dr. Umar says that he's numb to the criticism, but I just cannot get numb to it. And I just respond when I see negative comments about him. But I want to thank you, William, and I understand exactly what you're saying. You know, we should be expecting these type of things because just like we talk about white supremacy, and they doing what they should be doing as well, trying to support their own and subvert what we're trying to do. But we had to be stronger. You know, we need more people on our side instead of more of our people going on their side. That's plain and simple. It seems like they are recruiting a lot of our people to help them go against black people. Plain and
but
simple.
I'm going to be honest with you, Baba. I don't even know if there's any white folks in this particular chain of events.
No, they got their.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I think it's all black folks.
Way.
Except for the commissioner of L&I, everybody else is black.
Anti-black. You don't got to be.
I mean, I'm sure that, you know, the power structure is white. We know that.
That's right.
The mayor's white. You know, I'm sure the high execs are white. So we know that. But I'm saying this is not taking place at the top of it. This is at the bottom of the power structure where this is kind of taking place.
Well, what do House Negroes do?
So there's people who make things happen for us who are sabotaging.
That's
like how she refused to put through my waiver request.
Yeah.
That email I sent her October 14th, that was an official request for a waiver. Why you didn't put it through?
Or try to give you the permit for you?
It needs the bill number and the amount. You already know the bill number and the amount because it comes from you.
And it's the same woman. Is that the same woman that didn't want to give you the permit for the festival as well?
No, these are all different women, but they all sisters.
They all work for the same system.
But remember, the finance sister, the sister in charge of delinquent accounts, I ain't really going to, she had some false information in her email response. She did have some false information in her email response, but she's not really adversarial.
Yeah.
The one over vacant properties who ignored us for months and didn't process the vacant property registration fee waiver back in October, I suspect she may be adversarial. And the sister in charge of special events, I'm damn sure she's adversarial. She went home without giving us a permit, and the city attorney had to call her back in or make her boss call her back in to give us a permit. She went home for the weekend, Baba, knowing we didn't have a permit.
Wow.
She went home for the weekend knowing we didn't have a permit and had to be called back in to give us our damn permit.
Wow.
We've been going through this since we got to school.
Well, like you said, you don't think it's going to get easier. Yeah, it's not going to get easy. But I want to welcome Patrick. Patrick, we want to talk to you after we finish talking to Dr. Umar. Unless you had a question or comment for Dr. Umar. Patrick, I don't know if you heard me, but we have Patrick. He's down there in Texas with his Sienna convention. But I still want to talk to you, Dr. Umar. So what now? So are you going to get a certificate of occupancy?
Let me tell you what's next. Two things are next.
Yes.
Number one, three things are next. Number one is I got to continue to seek due process against the city of Wilmington, Delaware, for trying to sell our schools without any notification at all for 4 to 5 months. That's number one. This looked like this was a clear setup to strip us of our property without due process. So that's number one. I got to continue to contact all these different city officials to see if anybody going to step in and say, wait a minute, this was wrong. This was wrong. This man emails you 4 times, you ignored him. He talked to you on the phone 4 times. You promised to call him back. You never did. And then for 4 to 5 months, he never gets no correspondence of any kind from anybody in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. And then we try to we get a judgment on him August the 5th and take him to sheriff's cell, and we don't even tell him we're doing it. This ain't right. So I'm hoping somebody will step in and say that he was done wrong. This was wrong. Nobody's saying that. They're not even addressing the issue. The L&I commissioner sent the email, Baba, and he said, well, we can do a walkthrough of the properties and see what you need to get done in order to bring the properties into compliance. And then after that, we can do a payment plan. Baba, this is not about walking through the property. We already had our walkthroughs with L&I when we bought the property. This is not about that. This is about why did you put our properties up for sheriff's sale when you failed to communicate with us for 5 months? Why didn't your secretary ever call us back for 5 months? That's the question. Nobody said nothing about a walkthrough. So he diverted the conversation into building compliance. The conversation is not about building compliance. The conversation is why did you never respond to this man's request to retroactivate the vacant property fee waiver?
Well, you know, I think
do it, Baba.
I know.
If you can't do it, just say that.
I think
Baba, if they would have told us we cannot retroactively apply the vacant property registration fee waiver, we would have just got a payment plan.
I know.
They ignored us for 5 months, and nobody is addressing that.
I think that sometimes some of these people that work in license and inspection also work for these developers. On the side, take
point, Baba.
That's right.
That's a hell of a point.
That's right. Because I had one that do me
conflict of interest.
I had one do to me. I had some contractors that was during the building next to me. Then they went up on my roof to go across to get to the building next to me, and I had security cameras on the side of my building. And next thing I know, I look up and the camera was missing. I said, hey, where'd my camera go? And they was all Mexican. Nobody spoke English. I said, somebody going to tell me what happened to my camera. Ain't nobody been up on my roof but y'all. And they said, well, so I said, well, you better get I said, I bet you when I call the police out here, somebody going to speak English and tell me what happened to my camera. And then all of a sudden my camera appeared. And so I told him, I said, well, I need to talk to your boss. And the boss, white man, came out, and he said, well, what can I do to rectify this? So I said, well, you can maybe give me some money for my pain and suffering. And do you know the license and inspection guy had a black guy had to come in, oh, you got to, you should, don't take advantage of this developer. I said, man, you got to be out your mind. I said, he must be on the tape. Got to be on the tape.
Wow. Well, I will tell you this, Baba. We regularly get notifications from realtors, gentrifiers, who want to buy our buildings.
That's
we
right.
regularly
That's right.
get them in the mail.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that somebody, you're not going to tell me that you don't communicate with this man for 5 months after he just paid a $30,000 water bill, and your secretary does not respond to any of his phone calls or any of his emails looking for clarity. You let 4 to 5 months go by without no communication at all, and the next time you hear from y'all, there's a sign on his door, and y'all didn't even tell him that there would be one.
So if a developer has his eyes on that property and he's working along with the inspector,
I believe that can be true. I very
there you
much
go.
believe that can be the case.
All right.
I very much believe that I could be getting sold out by black folks who's trying to help somebody acquire our property, but they're not going to get it.
That's right.
I just hope I don't have to bring all my supporters to Wilmington, Delaware, and march on the city. I hope we ain't got to go that far. But I think for some Negroes, they got to see your power. Some people, they don't know how to stop sticking with you. You know, I'm hoping we don't have to go there. I'm just there to open this school. I don't want to get involved in nothing except this school in Wilmington, Delaware. I just want to do a school for our boys. That's it. Just let me do my school. Stop sabotaging. Stop working against me. Stop ignoring my emails. Stop ignoring my phone calls. Stop lying on me for YouTubers. Stop choosing not to process my paperwork. Stop trying to get me on every little teeny-weeny technicality that you don't use on nobody else. It's just sad, Baba.
I think that once you open up the school, it'll get better. It'll lighten up because they think that they have failed to stop you.
I wish, and eventually, Baba, we're going to have to go to the mayor because I have not gotten to the mayor yet because I want to go through everybody under the mayor. I want to respect his office. So I went through the chief of staff. I got no answers from him. Commissioner of L&I, he refused to answer the question. He refused to say why his secretary never called me back or responded to my emails. He refused to say why I got no communication for 5 months. Finance department also refused to tell me why I didn't get any communication for 5 months. The lawyers for the city told me they didn't do the paperwork for the lien and the judgment, so they ain't got nothing to do with it. So I got about 5 more people I got to hit up, and then we're going to see about taking the city to court because this ain't going to. It ain't going to stop it. The mayor can stop it. The mayor can simply tell them, y'all need to stop, or heads going to start rolling out.
That's right. You said you have 3 steps that you're looking to do. You told us about 1. What about 2 and 3 of going forward?
So 1 was we got to continue to pursue the negligence on the part of the city of Wilmington, Delaware, as well as the hostility and the discrimination that led to them trying to sell out schools without giving us any notice at all for 5 whole months since their last correspondence to us in the mail. That's 1. Number 2, Baba, we're almost done to Marcus Garvey Elementary School. All we have to do is lay tile down in the select few classrooms. Once we lay the tile down in those select few classrooms, we're applying for a certificate of occupancy based on the way that the city has treated and interacted with us since we purchased the school. I suspect that they're going to try to do everything they can to prevent us from getting our certificate of occupancy. I expect that to happen. I expect them to make a lot of problems for us. Just as think about it, Baba. If we got to go through all this just to get a vacant property registration fee waived, think about that. If you got to go through this for just a fee waiver, imagine what you're going to have to go through to actually get your certificate of occupancy. So that's the next big challenge. How much are they going to discriminate against us? How hostile are they going to be? And how negligent are they going to be towards helping us get our certificate of occupancy? That, and along with that, Baba, it could come before it or right after it, and that is the vacant property registration fee waiver for this year. That comes out November the 1st. We're going to apply for the 4-year waiver when we get the bill on November the 1st. How much red tape are they going to apply to us to try to prevent us from getting our 4-year vacant property fee registration waiver so that we be forced to pay that $12,000 for each property, which would be $24,000. So you got the vacant property fee waiver coming up, you got the L&I final inspection coming up, and you still got the due process and justice that needs to be served with regard to them trying to sell our schools behind our back without no notifications for 5 months.
Wow. So now, also, were you able to clean up the sabotage and vandalism at the school? I know you said they spread the paint around and stuff like that.
We working on it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. So, Patrick, you had any questions for Dr. Umar?
I just want to say good.
Oh, you know what? Patrick told me that he drove by the school and saw the doors, had the Ghanaian flag colors on the doors.
Yes, sir, because, you know, I'm a citizen of Ghana. I also have ancestry out of Ghana, among a few other countries, and out of respect, both Sajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and the outgoing president of Ghana, who, you know, was so gracious enough to give me that citizenship. It means a lot to me. And so that, and, you know, with Ghana being the first country in post-colonial Africa to get its independence, you know, it's only right that one of the doors be in the flag of Ghana, and, of course, the other door in the flag of the Right Excellent Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Yes, I saw that, and I was like, oh, man. I stopped my car and look at it again. I was like, oh, this is Dr. Omar's handwriting.
Yeah.
And because I knew that, hey, who put Ghana flag here? Because all along, I didn't even know the school, and until I drove past there and I saw it, I was like, let me stop a little bit. Ghana flag?
You can feel the energy when you go by there. You can feel it.
Oh, yes.
You can feel it. They're trying to stop our own people, brother. Our own people are trying to undermine and sabotage us, opening up an independent school for black boys that ain't going to cost the city a penny. That ain't going to. We are not a charter school. We are not a charter school. We are not a government-funded operation. This is independent, black self-determination. We ain't getting a penny from the city, a penny from the county, a penny from the state. Black people are going to operate their own school, and look at the hell that we're getting. We're going to provide a great service, and look at the hell we're getting for trying to provide a great service.
And Dave, if you know the location of the school, it really the school is really in the right location for black people. No, because I've been in Wilmington for years and years. That school, that building used to be a charter school. I used to actually teach over there one time. Yes, so it used to be a charter school, and so and the location, when you talk about black people, educating black people, that is by far the right location.
Well, maybe that's it, because it would be a hub in the community, and they don't want that hub established because the developers are trying to get that, so they want to prevent it from being established.
Gentrification plan.
That's it.
The school is just about
that's why they tried to sell the school.
That's right.
About half a mile away from the prison, or from actually in between two prisons.
Wow.
In the city of Wilmington.
A beacon of hope.
So it's the right place for the school, and I will really, encourage and pray that things go well for the school to really reopen.
Wow, that's great. So now what, Dr. Umar? You know it's a hard struggle.
We in a war.
Yeah.
I need the people to stay ever ready and vigilant in case I do have to make. Because here's what I'm most concerned about. I'm most concerned about all three things, to be honest. I'm most concerned about not getting no justice,
accountability,
trying to sell the schools behind our back with no communication for 5 months. I'm concerned about them trying to not give us our vacant property fee registration waiver. I'm concerned about that because, again, this is the same woman who didn't respond to any phone calls or emails, right? So we know there's hostility there. It's the same woman who wouldn't process my vacant property registration fee waiver application, which is a letter. It's not an application. It's a letter. I sent it to her, and she's saying wait 2 weeks and send it in again. Why you can't just take this now? I'm ahead of the game. Accept this, and if you need the bill number, just put it on there. Like, why are you making it difficult to process my waiver? Because you don't want to give me the waiver. You're hostile. You're hostile.
If you can find
against what we're trying to do.
If
you know what I mean? And then,
that's right.
And then, of course, the main thing, which is what we need to operate, and that is the final building inspection permit, the certificate of occupancy. That right there is the biggest of the three, although I would argue that all three of them are equally important, because we got to get justice for what they just tried to do to us, sell the building without our knowledge. We got to get justice if they keep charging us these vacant property registration fees that's taking money away from renovation and operation. And of course, if I had to anticipate a protest, Bob, if you said, Doc, something ain't going to go right, and what do you think it's going to be that's going to require us to have to come to Wilmington and have a protest, I would say it's going to be them not wanting to give us the certificate of occupancy, because that's what actually allows us to operate, to use the building. You know, so that's going to be the biggest fight of them all. I'm hoping that the mayor steps in and tell these Negroes to stop being Negroes. You know, treat this man like everybody else. We work with people, work with him. We support other people, support him. Stop trying to find reasons not to help this man, because that's what they're doing. That's what all this, they have consistently found reasons not to help us along in the process.
Well, again, if you find out who has their eyes on the building, then you could run right up the chain and see who is at the top trying to stop the process.
I mean, you know, just to be excuse me. I know that mayor very well. He used to be the governor of Delaware. He is fair. He is very fair. And so, if you really, you know, talk to him about what is going on, I'm sure he is going to bring justice. He is going to call the parties involved, and I'm sure that he is going to make sure that he has a resolution to this. Because I know him, he is fair. I used to work with him directly.
Well, I wonder if we send out a request to do an interview with him and ask him these questions about why such hostility and why such delays and discrimination against somebody that's trying to do something for the growth and development of the children of Delaware. If he's so concerned, then maybe he'll come on this show and tell us why.
Well,
we can request him to do that.
I'm going to request a meeting with him ultimately. But remember, I do want to, out of respect for that office of mayor, I do want to go through the chain. You feel me?
Yeah.
When I get to him, I want to be able to say, I already went through your
That's right.
He provided me no answers. I went to your L&I commissioner. He provided no answers for why he put my buildings up for sale. He provided no answers for why his secretary of vacant properties never responded to my phone calls or emails. He promised to get back to me and never did. Nobody has dealt with that, okay? And then I spoke with the city attorneys. They said they had nothing to do with it. So there's a few other people in offices I got to go to. And then once I've exhausted everybody, now I need to have a meeting with the mayor to see if he's willing to do anything about this. And then there's some state-level offices I need to go. I want to make sure I exhaust everything, so when we do have to drag them into court, when we do have to sue the city and ask everybody to come out and support us in the media and a whole big thing, which I don't want to do. I just want to operate my school. But if we got to do all of that, I want to be able to say nobody gave us any redress for our grievances. I need to be able to say that I went to everybody, and nobody gave us any redress. The chief of staff, no redress. L&I commissioner, no redress, right? So now I got to keep going up the chain and see who else could have had their hand, because there's other departments involved in the judgments in the sheriff's cell lien, including the sheriff. You know, so I'm even going to talk to the sheriff's office and ask them what's the process, and should I have been served before y'all put that monition notice on the door? Like, what notices are required to be given to property owners before you actually, you know, put that notice on their door? Because I believe there's no way you're going to convince me that it is perfectly legal and with an established ordinance and procedure to not communicate at all with a property owner for 5 months, and then out of nowhere on August the 5th, you get a judgment and put a sheriff lien on their building. Well, I'm having a hard time believing that.
Well, again, I think that once the school opens, it'll be a lot easier then, because whoever has their eyes on it will say, now they are too strong and there's nothing that we can do about it. But I want to thank you, Dr. Umar Johnson, for some clarity today, because there's been a lot of people, a lot of trolling going on out there. And like you said, you're numb to it.
Celebrating, Baba. They were celebrating.
Yeah.
They were throwing house parties.
Oh, yeah.
They were so all over YouTube, man. They were celebrating. They was having parties and cookouts.
Yeah.
Celebrating the demise of Dr. Umar.
Yeah.
And the demise of FDMG.
Yeah.
All over
They were talking about he's done. He's done.
Happy.
Yeah.
The whole nine, Baba. Listen.
I'm telling
Only
you.
God knows if I win or lose.
That's right.
But nobody is going to deny that I wasn't committed to this agenda. Nobody's going to deny that the mission was not sincere and honest from the heart. I don't know what's going to happen. I got hostile Negroes in the city government of Wilmington trying to stop every ounce of progress. You know what I mean? We just going to keep on pushing, and hopefully the ancestors will be on our side, because our boys can use this school. Our boys can use this school. And if you look at achievement in that city and them schools, it ain't that great. You feel me? They can use this. You know, you got some good principles out there. Don't get me wrong, and you got a lot of great teachers at Wilmington too. I know some. But overall, black boys can definitely benefit from FDMG, because what I'm bringing to the table ain't nobody else bringing to the table.
That's right, a whole new school system. But before we run out of time, how can people reach you if they want to contribute, donate, and or participate?
For the donations, they can mail, check a money order, same address, FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. And they can hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Again, that's paypal.me/FDMG Academy. If you're not sure, because you got so many fake profiles out there, just text me. Text my cell phone. If you need a consultation for your child, text my cell phone, 215-989-9858. That is 215-989-9858. If there's any attorneys out there who are willing to represent us, who are licensed in the state of Delaware, please reach out. 215-989-9858. Brothers and sisters in Delaware who are fighting against gentrification and need Dr. Umar support to help you save your properties, I'm a victim as well. Reach on out. 215-989-9858.
Thank you so much. Like I said in my post, now's the time to stand behind the brother. Don't be anti-black. Just reach out and help. I was saying that the people that were speaking the worst about you never even donated $1, but they speaking the loudest.
I don't answer questions no more, Baba. People are like, yeah, you don't be answering questions. I don't owe you nothing. This is an independent school.
Yeah.
We don't live off tax money. We're not funded by I don't owe you no answer.
Yeah.
You ain't donated $1, and you ain't picked up a piece of trash outside that school.
Yeah.
I owe you nothing.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Love.
Peace and love.